Okay, on the first issue, which is about resembling versus enhance, um, this is actually about what verb forms can go with the modal can enhance. So these systems can enhance, or these systems enhance human capabilities. So we've got that subject-verb agreement. Um, AI systems, I actually personally think resemble would be more accurate because I think a lot of AI systems generate outputs that resemble what humans can do, but don't really enhance our capabilities as much as we think. So I agree. If it can resemble human capabilities, it would be grammatical, and it might be what you were trying to say here. It might be a reasonable point to make. Um, so I guess it depends what artificial intelligence refers to, whether it's machine learning or generative AI or something else. So so I think in this case either works. It's the form of the verb that determines the choice. It has to be enhance. But the resemble would also work. Then if we look at pressing, this is actually um, a common intensifier, we might call it. I'm not sure if that's the right grammatical term for problems, or for a problem to call it pressing. So it's an adjective. It's working as an adjective here. It's it's commonly used in combination. It's the idea that these problems are asserting themselves or pushing themselves on us in some way, that they have a stress or urgency about them. Hmm. So you might say something like, um, I wanted to study for my end of semester exam, but my job interview tomorrow is a more pressing problem, or was a more pressing problem. So it's about stressing the urgency of some things over others. Um, so to say that it's a question of, could these tools help us to solve the problems that have urgency? They're urgent problems, also complex problems. So we can talk about some problems being more pressing, some problems being less pressing as well. That's another way of saying some problems are more urgent, like tomorrow's job interview. Some are less urgent, even though they're still important, like the end of semester exam. Um, yes, pressing is to highlight their urgency. Yes, we can. Yeah, developing and employing AI systems in various domains. So employ has the connotation of setting something to work. That is, we talk about employing a person for a job or in a role. Deploying is much more the connotation of using something as a tool or an instrument. So deploying is a slightly better choice, but employing would be a legitimate choice here as well. When we use deploying to talk about humans, we're usually talking about like soldiers or military, because they're treated as like a tool by the people who control them. So you could talk about deploying troops or deploying the Navy to a particular location, but otherwise, you'd usually talk about employing people to do a certain job. AI systems, whether you would prefer one or the other. Hmm. I guess effects has a slightly more concrete meaning. So effect is something that you can observe and measure. Implication is like, what does this mean? Why does it matter? What are the further effects down the track? We might see the immediate effects and the larger implications. So if we're talking about the ethical and the social, we're assuming that these are effects that we can't see right away. We can't see them immediately. So that's possibly why they've chosen implications rather than effects. So yes, you could use effects here.
So grammatically, it is correct. Social
That's right. Yeah.
effects. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.